Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing from the Overwatch 2 PvP update, Rome, and that is a push map. For those of you that aren't aware, how push is going to work is this will be a new game mode for Overwatch 2. In theory, it's going to replace 2CP, because 2CP is out. And the two teams are trying to skirmish over the robot and sort of push it back and forth to the left and right like that. And the more that you're winning, the more that you can push the robot to get to here, all that. So we're going to see how that actually plays out. And we're also going to see what does this look like in terms of, we'll review these players much like we would in a normal match. I'll turn the quality down if it keeps blinking like that, but I think it's ultimately going to be fine. So here we are. We've got our players. These are mostly, I believe, maybe entirely the players that we reviewed last time. If you haven't already seen the Overwatch 2 review that we did on the casino map, we did that, and we saw most, if not all, of these players there. So we have some ideas about some of these players. I remember that name, that name. I think I remember that name. Remember that and that. Anyway, so we're going to see through here. We'll see how these players do. We'll somewhat review them individually, but we'll somewhat also be paying attention to the map. If you guys have questions, you can, of course, throw them up in chat. And I am going to have this on mute, I think, as the voices of the commentating that's going on from them, commentating over the commentating doesn't work great. Okay, we will turn our settings. We're going to turn you up higher than that. And we're going to turn you up to that because I think that's going to be tolerable. And then I'm going to fill airtime for just a second to let this get ahead of us a bit. Temporal has low FPS recently because he sold his graphic cards for profit. That's not true. That's not true. There's an upgrade I could make to my PC. I probably will go make that upgrade. I could definitely justify it, and it's not something that is an arm and a leg to do right now. So I'll probably do that. But let's continue on with the match here. You think that, but I'm actually using a pretty decent computer. It's a self-built machine, but it's a self-built machine like probably 7 years ago at this point. But I've made a couple replacements since then, so to keep it more up to date. There's definitely something I've left behind though. Okay, so we're pushing out here with Speedy Rogue. We can see that, let's take a quick look at what exactly he's thinking. So they're pushing out here. We don't have a great feel for where they are in the map yet, other than the fact that we can see the opponents up there. He can't see them, but we can see them as we're pushing in. And it looks like Junkrat was off here alone controlling some sort of flank. So immediately going to make the play onto that. Drop that. Can't really pursue that, though. Can't pursue that. That has a Zarya bubble. You don't have your Winston bubble. You're not going to get a Zarya bubble. This is not double bubble. Overwatch 2, only one tank. Not sure what the belief of being able to pursue this Junkrat out of the bubble is all about. Definitely can't do this, and now we've hopped into the open to get discorded, and this should just be a feeding Winston. Even though his team can somewhat see him, this should be a feeding Winston. Is able to back out. Now we're over to see how Anna does. Robot Angel. Kind of sitting right in the middle here, Anna. Are you sure? I mean, you're not sitting here, but that's a scary transition. I want to do this transition exactly when my Winston's doing it. I want his body to be my cover as I'm going from left to right. Though, do I even want to go right? Like, yes, we can tuck in here. Yes, there's cover here that we can tuck in behind, but it doesn't look like there's anywhere through here. This is a wall. So I'm not even sure we really want to be advancing here. Maybe we just get to here. Can't use that nade. As any good Ana player will tell you, we're really not looking to use our nade just to get our tank, just to heal our tank. Now, maybe the belief here is my Winston is going to keep pushing, so I want to get the nade on him, not so much for the heal, but for the increased healing received effect, so I can continue to pocket him, continue to heal him back up faster as he continues to take damage here. But, he's in his bubble. He has the ability to tuck behind cover if he wants. He's sort of being needlessly aggressive, and this nade got him in a place where he was already tucked behind cover. So we really didn't want to use our nade like this. This is very temporary cover. Please don't stand here. Yeah, now the shield's gone. Okay, so our map goes through here, and this is our objective. This is our objective. We can see right now blue has control of the objective, and it is pushing a little bit. We can see there's the three, is that two arrows? Two arrows there, it looks like. So it's got two arrows, so it's double moving. So these two count for it right now, whereas Sour Witch does not count for contesting this, and red is not contesting it yet. So it's actually going to require you to be pretty darn close to contest this robot. I wonder if this will do much to encourage a sort of brawly style, or if this is just going to put even more pressure on the tanks to somehow survive as they go do this stuff with open sight lines. That said, you do see this is kind of rounded, and because this is kind of rounded, it does limit the long sight lines a little bit, just the roundedness of this. Okay, the sleep is fun, but I'm not sure you want to be here. Oh, and the robot changes colors. Okay, that's going to be a little disorienting. Mm-hmm. Or is it just changing colors from the perspective of the team you're on? Is that based on who controls it or whose perspective we're looking from? Okay. So I feel like this should be moving. Clearly I don't understand the game mode because this seems like if you've got two blue players around it that this should move right now. Or is this as far blue as it gets? Okay. Okay, now it's going. It just took a little bit before it was willing. Oh no, it's the second, not one. Okay, that's why I was confused. Because we've got two of these, and that's why we saw two. So we've got two different of the things. Got it. It's the one robot that we move. It's the one robot that we move to push the two walls, and these two walls represent it. Okay, that makes more sense. Clearly I'm a noob to this. Can objects like sim turrets be placed on the payload? I would expect so. They can on payloads after all, so it would seem very likely that they could on this. So is this gonna actually no? Because there's only one robot. Okay, so we've got the fight happening here. Blue once again has control. And blue here with their control is perfectly happy to fight this out. That said, they have control of the objective, but they don't have much in terms of map control. All of blue is like in here, except for the one guy who's clearly a respawn, whereas red has a bit more angular control. So this could be a hard thing to defend as it's sort of forcing you again because of this curvature to sort of defend inwards when your opponents get to poke from outwards, which will naturally give them better angles, especially if they've got high ground like this here to use. So that could be a good design if we've made a moving objective, harder to defend, which is good. And we've made it harder to defend through what looks like its whole route. I think this semicircle is its route. They might gut sim. They might. They said they didn't like CC on non-tanks. Oh, okay, so it's not playing in the semicircle. It's willing to go out here. Got a Discord orb, buddy? Shadowstorm, you want to peek for a Discord? You want to not stand in the open? Use the robot as cover. Use the robot as cover, man. There you go. Now get a Discord off and charge a right click. Like you should be charging a right click or you should be getting a Discord off. Why? Why are we just doing this? Why are we just dancing behind the robot? Charge up right clicks, be like, with your magic hands, or peek to get a Discord out and then charge a right click. Don't stand here. And honestly, now that your Zarya's here, now that this is pushed back into the open, this is already far enough. This is already far enough for your Zarya to be in charge of handling. Our Zen wants to back up to those pillars, to the pillars of the semicircle, and play with those as cover. Our Zen doesn't want to be on the objective. When you're playing Zenyatta, you bring a lot of power to the game through your Discord orb and your weapon. Like, that's a lot of power that you bring to the game. So you want to be in a place where, sure, sometimes you're going to push the cart when the fight is happening ahead of the cart or ahead of the push, but you want to be going, hey, when you expect the fight is going to happen now on the push, because you're pushing into a space that your opponents control. We can put Diva back up here where she was, back up here, back up here. This is clearly set up with red team's control. This is clearly set up to be a contest spot, which totally makes sense. you know that they're going to engage from this contest spot onto the objective. You wanted to back off before this happened. Be back at that semicircle and be playing Zen Sniper from there, where you can discord them, where you can support your Zarya, where they have to pick between contesting the objective and contesting the Zen. You don't want them to be able to go, we're fighting the Zen and contesting the objective at the same time. Make them pick. Temporal's right click impression on point. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Cool. Can you please get cover? Okay, so he's bored because you left him alone? No, he's bored because he's contested. Okay. Yeah, I still don't like you here. Zarya can handle the contesting. You want to have better cover. See, this is where you want to be. This is the spot I wanted you while Zarya was pushing the payload. You could push the payload, objective, wall, whatever, a little bit. That was fine. Go push the thing a little bit. And then as it started to leave a bit, you came back and we're going to play from here with your Harmony, say, on your Zarya, who continued to push it. And then when they went to contest Zarya, you just got to blow them up with your Orbs of Destruction. Temporal to review the crosshair selection. The thing is, I don't actually know if this is the player's crosshair selection, which it probably isn't. This is probably just the observer's crosshair selection, and it's a bad one. Why are you out here? Why are you reloading in the open? Please have cover when you reload. And where's your Discord orb? Where's your Discord orb? Where's your Discord orb? So slow. So slow to get that Discord orb out. And is that really who you want the Discord orb on? A Tracer who's ineffectively playing at mid-range? As opposed to, oh, I don't know, this Lucio over here, the Diva that was here a second ago? Those seem like better options. Okay, pull back. Pull back and take a different angle from your Ashe. That's what you want to do. Like, you want to be able to protect your Ashe. You want to pull back. So, like, your Zarya's going to play on cart. Your Ashe is going to play back here. Maybe she'll boost her up over to here. And you'll play back behind on those pillars. And you want to maintain a sight line on your Ashe and a sight line on your Zarya. And that's how you protect both of them. That's what we're looking to do. Okay. And then Anna's playing left side. And you can see Anna. This is great if you were in the right spot. Please stop pushing the payload, Zen. Back off. Get cover. That is not cover. No. No. This is not a thing. Please stop it. Please stop standing here. You see this cover? You're using a projectile, Zen. You can throw orbs from here. They have infinite range. And these two heroes are snipers with infinite range. Oh, it makes me so sad. Why? Why are you here? Oh well. Oh well. We should be fair. These are maps like, again, most of the map pool we know in Overwatch, and everyone, even silvers, golds, bronzes, plats, whatever, the info of where to play has sort of gotten to them through osmosis. And these are new maps that hasn't happened. So if you sent the average silver player here, the average gold player here, they would take worse positioning on these maps than you would see in then you would see them take on other maps. Like that's a thing. That's normal. We should understand that. We shouldn't be like, oh my god, these guys are taking terrible positions compared to what normal players would take. Normal players would also take worse position on these maps because they're less figured out. Now, better players and even lower players who understand positioning better but have other holes in their kit would understand more intuitively the types of positions that they want to take. But let's be honest, some people understand this stuff because, hey, they've actually figured it out. They actually understand the principles. And other people have done it through, route memorization type things. So we should be a little gentle on them. But I won't be gentle. How do you enter Cash App referral bonus if you already installed it? That's actually perfectly doable. I'll pull that up to check because, that could be making me money. So sure, I'll check that on stream. You just go to your profile, and if you on your phone scroll down to your profile, at the bottom it should have enter referral code. Does Robot count as second tank? I don't think he'll fight for you, so no. Timberwolf wants $5 more. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Okay, so now we get to see this from red team's perspective. We have our Mercy. Interesting. We're pocketing our Tracer rather than pocketing our Diva who was rezzed. Our Tracer was in perhaps the more dangerous position. We've pushed up and taken control. I want to see this. I got distracted by making money with the referral code. By the way, if you guys want to, do the referral code stuff in the Discord, you can see that, and you can from there go into Cash App, enter the referral code first time, and if you send money to anyone within 2 weeks, both you and I get $5 to $15 extra. So that can be cool. But hey, don't I feel like a proper YouTuber now with a referral code and everything? Okay, here we go. So we're here. We've got our Mercy. We're playing from our high ground. Why do you think you can do this? Why do you think you can drop and res here? Like, yes, you had, from your perspective, you took out the Zen that didn't have good positioning, but they took out Diva. Why do you think? Do you have something going on to the left there? What are they responding to? Why are these guys backing off so hard is the real question. Because you're triple pushing the robot? Why? You're triple pushing the robot though because they backed off. Is it that you scored? Is that what happened? No. Why is blue backing off so hard? They lose their Zen. There's Zarya. Quirky Turtle is backing off. Why? Because they lost their Zen? I don't care. You got the Diva in exchange. Are you correctly discovering from a map control position, Blue, that if you keep pushing here, you'll be surrounded by everyone above you and your team won't effectively be able to back you up and they'll abuse their concave and you need to retake this way or this way to get control of the edges that'll then let you get control in here? Is that what's going on? That would be a really weird epiphany for your team to suddenly make. Like, it's correct, but it would be really weird that that's an epiphany for you to make. So is there something about this game mode we don't understand? That becomes a real question. And them just backing up and turning around. And now this is going to be pushed, the robot. And because they're backing up and turning around, and I don't see a flanker back there. Like, maybe Tracer's just pulled 3 people's attention, but I don't see Deadly Kitten back there. No, Deadly Kitten is up over here. If Tracer was, like, over here, maybe that would be why they all turned around, but it's not, so I don't know. This res should have been a feat, but they backed off, so it's not. 6v5 easy. Make sure your referral code is in your description next to the Discord. Yeah, I'll probably set that up as part of my defaults now. That's a good thing, Pla. Gotta play the lottery to win it, I suppose. We had this discussion, Kongabooks. Kongaboom. We had this discussion. We had this discussion in your review yesterday. Which is up on the channel as the Ash review, if you guys want to see how Kongaboom is doing. Fair amount of McCree in there too, but I think we called it an Ash review. The discussion about the lottery versus investing. Okay, so our Mercy goes over here. Tracer's not a great beam target. That Ash is probably better. I think she has a sight line around there. A little hard to tell with the depth. Lucio's definitely not our target. So you go up here and you should stop up here. No. Why are you going on low ground? Why are you going on low ground, Mercy, instead of stopping up here? You can then drop, but why are you pre-dropping? You don't need that mega. Why are you here? Do not like. Do not like. You had no business going there in the first place, Robot Angel. Asked him, bro, what are the current winning lotto numbers? Your cut is 5%. That wouldn't make any sense for me to get you the winning lotto numbers and then only take a 5% cut. That doesn't make any sense. Come on now. Unless Unless you're saying, I get to tell you the winning lotto numbers, and if I'm wrong, I lose nothing, and if I'm right, I get 5%. If that's what we're going with, potentially that deal makes sense. Okay. So now we're over on Soldier, who's fighting Zarya at close range, but we'll get the finish. Okay, so Red's turned this around, in part because Blue retreated. I don't know why Blue retreated in a 4v4. That's still a bit of a mystery to me, but they did. Leaning more towards silver, maybe low gold. Yeah, it looks pretty silver. Based on what we saw before, I'd guess pretty silver, but we saw a couple exceptions that looked maybe a tier or a tier and a half better when we reviewed them on Monte Carlo. Okay, so as we take a look at what's happening here, again, it's mirrored appropriately. We now see Blue is going to have the good angles, the good high ground control to use. This makes a little more sense in that you have heroes like Lucio and Diva, well now Soldier, pushing the cart. That does make a little bit more sense, or pushing the robot, I suppose. Clear your Discord, Diva. Clear your Discord. Clear your Discord, Diva. Don't make Lucio beat for you. Clear your Discord, whatever. Okay, pushing in with our green health from beat, because that's how it works now. Both of those are counting. So the Mercy and Diva are counting on the robot from there. I'm a little surprised. That feels like they're further away than someone who wasn't counting before was. So we might have in Overwatch 2 more of the inconsistent determinating of distance. Determinating, yeah, that's a word, of distance from the objective, like we've got on live right now, which is unfortunate. Okay, where are you going to end this Transcendence? There's where you're going to end this Transcendence? I disagree. So when it comes to Transcendence, you've got 6 seconds, and you want to be super aggressive for most of it, and then you have to decide, can I end somewhere moderately safe for it? And what's moderately safe might be like if you use Transcendence now and you had 6 seconds, moderately safe by the end of Transcendence might be up here. It might be up here, which might not be moderately safe at the time that you use it. But during those 6 seconds, your team can take a lot of space, do a lot of work, push the enemy back pretty hard, and that'll give you a place to go from. You might push all the way up here and then loop back to here with the last second and a half of your Transcendence, even with the last half second, because you get race car mode while in Transcendence. You go vroom vroom. So we wanted to end in a better place. This Transcendence was just sort of floating in the middle. You weren't really making your team push with it, nor did you put yourself in a place where you were safe, and then the self-destruct gets you, which was very avoidable. Again, you're a race car when you're Transcendence. Cash App update. I tried it. It says new account only, even though I never used the referral code before. That makes sense. That does make sense. It's unfortunate. It's probably just been too long since you created your account, but we'll deal. He was trying to hide in the car. He couldn't find his keys. I feel like if you're an Omnic, if you're a robot, you're going to install the key software like in your body, in your physical being. You're not going to have to like go find a second object. That seems like it would be a nice quality of life for Omnics. Your key fob is you. Okay, so did we panic Valk? Here we are. We're down one. We're Valking. And you might have to Valk to get reses off in a 5v5, because again, in a 5v5, there's one less person to cover you. Like a res is a bigger deal because a res brings back 20% of your team, which is a significant upgrade. On the other hand, you're trying to get a res off while you're down 20% of your team, which is a larger number of people. So you might have to pop Valks on the reg to get reses off. I still don't love this one. Fortunately, no boop. Yeah, that Anna just needed to sleep you. Lucio could have protected that better with boops. I would like to actually see her control, her camera. Why are we third personing this? Why are we third-personing this? Because we're showing off the Mercy skin. Okay. Or not the Mercy skin, it's probably the default skin, but we're showing off the new Mercy look. Cool. Always feels good. A little support Carnage. Okay. Is that a checkpoint? And they're actually going to get this checkpoint. So now they're leading. Oh no, it's not a checkpoint that they got. The checkpoint's further up. It's just that they've pushed it a further total. So when the match ends, it's going to be about who has gotten the robot further in total. And they've now, this is the invisible line that is mirrored on the other side, like you'd have it for a payload when you swapped rounds. Okay. Still not a fan of this soldier pushing the payload. Lucio pushing the payload is fine with me. I'd prefer a soldier go up, press up, find angles to take, find map control to take, that the enemy has to push through. Okay, now our soldier's taking some space. Interesting. So the spawn is is blue's spawn from this direction? Is that what's going on? Is that why Zarya's here? Looks like it. I predict as this game mode gets more advanced, because of how it's mirrored and because of how you're pushing against each other, there's going to be sort of less fighting over the middle of the robot here, and a lot more we're running around, we're going like this, we're running ahead to go, like it's how the map is designed to go get ahead of the robot, like even more so than in payloads because of the weirdness of where your spawns are relative to these aren't these aren't straight paths that the robot is taking. Like if we look at the robot has gone like, how do I do this? The robot has gone like, like the robot is taking a path like that so far. This is just one direction of it. I'm sure it would have been like that too if we'd gone the other way. But with it going like that, it's going to cause some interesting locations for skirmishes to happen rather than sort of being a straight line like, or a relatively straight line like most of Overwatch is. Most of Overwatch is very one directional, and I expect we're going to be using these shortcuts, much more often, using the ability to jump from a fight here to a fight here. This could open some stuff up in terms of how the game gets played and thought about. Other than Cash App, got any other deals? You can barter services with me. Like I'll do, hey, is there social media promotion type stuff, etc. That you can do to swing for discounts or sessions, blasting out there, things like that to promote it, referral type stuff, etc. But let's handle that off stream. Okay. So the robot's bored. Red has maintained control. Okay. We've really done a full loop-de-loo here. This is going to be hard to push across. Like they definitely needed red team to go, forget it, this doesn't matter, push ahead and get control of this. Like you almost had to be spawn camping blue the entire time after that first one fight, because otherwise this does get harder and harder with how this map is designed. Not only are you getting closer to their spawn, you're getting through tougher and tougher terrain to push tougher and tougher terrain to push into. Is there a good way up from over there on the other side of this? I would like to see more over here if there's a way up over there without abilities. Um, I'll end up doing an Amazon shop, I'm sure, but I haven't yet. No. Okay, we're going in with the duplicate. Is your team really ready for this push? Okay, here we are. We've got this. We've got our Echo playing from here. There's our Reaper, so we don't want to be here. Fine. Your team's in this, sure. You're diving the soldier who you know doesn't have health station with your extra life. Sure, works for me. And you have flight to get out, which you do need to get out with. Not very good control. That was reasonable. Your team didn't push with you as hard as you'd have liked, but that was reasonable. But we've managed to totally flip the robot in this situation. Reaper was trying to ninja it, which I don't think is going to be an amazing strategy. I think that's going to be similar to like ninjing payloads right now. It can happen, but usually it's more in the realm of you're making your team fight down too much, which is similar to spawn camping, but spawn camping is better. Huh. Interesting. Why? Okay, so we see our diva. Let's try and get a feel for how much DM they gave her here. You use DM there. Yeah, I can't really tell. Doesn't look like it's costing her very much. Okay. I don't know why you think you can stand here with the Zarya in your face. Unclear. Unclear why you think you can stand here with the Zarya in your face. I'm also unclear on why you would swap into Diva, because they've been on Zarya the whole time, but you haven't been on Diva the whole time, I don't believe. No, or have you? I guess maybe you were. Maybe you were. We just haven't seen from your perspective yet. Okay. So you've still got micro missiles. You have DM. Zen popping it this time to survive the self-destruct, but still not a good solution. And then beat to answer the trans. So we're just throwing support ults at each other. And our projected bubble goes on the already invincible Transcendence. Unfortunate. And now that the mech is not gone, but still being remeched, we hit that. Let's watch that reload. Cool, cool. Why? Why are we reloading at 44 ammo? I get it. You don't have health. You're thinking, no, no, I can't do this. But you could have peeked to the right. They wouldn't have looked. You'd have had time to get one more right click off. Yeah. And it's not like you were willing to wait there until you had real health, or press the I need healing button to actually get help from your Mercy, who would have had a sightline on you. Okay, now we're seeing that our Zarya has gone over to Winston. Little Reaper versus Lucio action. I'm going to favor our Lucio there. Okay. I don't know why you thought you could do that. So the way Reaper works, you only have 6 HP, so I get it. But if you only have 65 HP now and you don't have Wraith, you actually need to be more passive than when you did have Wraith. This is not more passive. This is you going forward into the opponents without Wraith available to you. You need something to make a little space for you. Need a little bit of a distraction. You want to play somewhat aggressive, not like so aggressive that you're instantly going to force your Wraith, but you want to play at a level where your Wraith is more likely to be forced, but not automatically going to be forced when you have Wraith. That's sort of the level of aggression that you want to play at. And then when you don't have Wraith, you have to play more passive. So like this would be, I'll do a lot of damage, but my Wraith will get forced almost instantly. This is what you actually mostly want to live in as Reaper. I'm playing more aggressive and I can afford to because I have Wraith, but my Wraith probably isn't actually going to immediately get forced. I'm probably going to be able to last 6, 7, 8 seconds at this level of aggression versus I have to play out and I can do this basically forever, but I'm not contributing as much. You want to live here and you spend a little time down in here. Mm-hmm. Cool. Reaper. Gonna do better this time. You're just dancing with that. Fine. Did you have to do that? Yeah, you did. Okay. Why are you in the open though? Why are you in the open when you're reloading? You could have just been to your right. You could have been using the robot as a shield while you were reloading. You just lost half your health because you were in the open reloading. Okay, you need to be less aggressive now. You don't have Wraith. Less aggressive. Tuck. Okay, now you have Nano. Fine. Who was that for? You'd already broke her mech. If you break her mech and then Blossom, there needs to be targets besides her for the Blossom to be worth it. You're not blossoming just to eliminate Baby Diva. That's silly. That's silly. That's silly. Okay, so we are in overtime right now, which means that we know red is winning, so blue has to win this and has to keep this going the whole time. They can't drop the robot. And as we've discovered, the robot has a somewhat inconsistent level of contest distance to it. This looks like it'll be a pretty fast game mode, though, relatively speaking. Because you don't have multiple rounds like you do with payload, like you used to with 2CP. Or even like you have with Koth, but Koth rounds are short. This will be similar to a Koth length. Soldiers playing from up there. Our Mercy's, we have this Lucio Mercy combination, which we just don't like because we'd really prefer our Mercy be back up here, tucked behind this sign, so really right here, boosting our soldier as our soldier just mows this down. Like, that's what we'd really like. Our Diva could play here, our Diva could play on top of this, our Diva could play here. These would all be better places, and our Lucio would play riding on like this and peppering them. That's how we'd upgrade this positioning from gold to really masters. Um, that's what we do. But we're looking at this and we're sort of going, hey, because we have this silly Mercy Lucio support combination, we kind of need, and because our Diva's here, we kind of need to have some support healing for our Diva, which means our Mercy's got to be here, which means our Mercy can't do a better higher order task, which is boosting over here. I don't really like this. This is bad, but part of why this is bad is because of the supports we're running. And this Lucio isn't doing a ton for this team. Helping the Ashe move around a little bit nice. Keeping the Reaper checked, probably the best thing it's doing. Checking the Sombra a little bit, probably the next best thing it's doing. Would really prefer a better support combination here. There's our Ashe. Uh, Angles aren't great. If you look at how red has set up, they've got something going on here. Like they've set up a some angle, but I'd really prefer to get our Ashe more over here, over here. Ashe would make more sense here if our Diva had hopped up here, but since our Diva didn't, our Ashe over here would be nice. It would give our Mercy an additional out location as opposed to this, which is and it would also give us a bigger crossfire. It would change our angle of threat to this effectively. We're threatening from all these angles as opposed to this, which is a smaller angle that we're threatening from. Hiking the robot back with contest all the way to your finish line, push it further. Okay. Mm-hmm. What? So here we are. And wow. Did you just get that ult? Imagine if we'd had like a Mercy damage boost. A Mercy damage boost for this, or a Discord orb. Imagine if we'd had either of those things. How much this quirky turtle would not be wrecking this soldier right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. and self-destruct to clean it up. Yeah, that feels pretty silver. Okay, no, that might have been gold. I mean, they did take a little bit of high ground, off angles, etc. But yeah, we saw that. What do you guys think of the game mode? Let me know in chat or in the comments if you're not watching this live what you think of the game mode as a whole. It looks to me like it's going to lead to some shorter rounds, and it looks like it could lead to some interesting stuff and sort of how the map gets used. Where sort of in 2CP, it took Overwatch players a long time to figure out how to actually use the massive distance between point A and point B so that it wasn't just wasted space. And I think we're going to see that a lot faster in this game mode. I think because of how the maps, at least how this map is designed and how the spawns work, and it's not just a straight line, it's a little more of a, ooh, we have a curve and we go like that type thing, or oh, we have a curve and we go like that type thing, that we're going to see a bit more, at least if they're all like this anyways, when it comes to the push game mode. But I do like this map, I think. I think from what I see here that I do like how this map in particular is laid out. I don't know where I am yet on the game mode in its entirety. I think it could be fine. It could also be, hey, everyone just throws bodies at the point constantly, but I don't think it's going to be that with how these map, or with how this map at least was designed, where there's such strong high ground surrounding it and where there's good shortcuts through. I think that's going to be pretty interesting actually. So I'm impressed with this one. If you guys aren't or have different opinions, definitely let me know. If you guys have other questions, comments, throw them up in chat. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit and I really do appreciate it. And it also lets me know that you'd like me to go look at some of the other Overwatch 2 stuff, review the other map, go do more content on it, all that stuff, as opposed to just sort of the normal Overwatch 1 stuff. So let's catch up on chat here. Awesome TNT throw. Should just press Q. That was probably the Reaper. Yep. Not sure if this will end up being fun. I don't know. Hiking the robot back with contest all the way to your finish line to push it further. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this game mode will be fun. I think it will. That's my lean based on what I'm seeing here. But it could be sort of a respawn throw bodies at the point fest for both sides. Okay. Um, we can let this be short and sweet then. Yeah, we'll go ahead and call it there. Thanks, guys.